I took creatine every day for 30 days to see how it would affect my performance, my skin, how I build muscle. Basically, I went to the gym twice a week doing an upper body session and a lower body session. And I would run twice a week, doing one shorter run and one longer run. And also was going to one Pilates class per week while I was taking this creatine. And I've heard a lot of people say that you need to basically load the creatine in the first week, which is basically taking, I think it's about 5 milligrams instead of the usual 1 teaspoon of it for the first week or so. But recently, I've been hearing people say that you don't need to do that. All it takes is taking the same amount consistently every single day for it to work. It just takes a little bit longer to work. So I decided to try just taking the same amount every day. So I was taking 1 teaspoon per day, not at any particular time, just basically at any point throughout the day because it doesn't really matter apparently. How it works to my understanding is over the weeks as you're taking it, your muscles are getting more and more saturated with the creatine, and the creatine helps with energy and performance, and you end up building more muscle because it's helping with your energy and performance. It's not that like the creatine's building into your muscles or anything like that. So if you're going to the gym and lifting weights, you're supposedly going to be lifting more weights, being able to do more reps and stuff, and that helps you to build more muscle. So then if you stop taking the creatine, you don't suddenly lose that muscle that you've built. Like you keep the muscle as long as you're still training, but you might not be able to train to the same level because you've not got as much energy. And also it's supposed to make you bloat. I was actually speaking to my cousin about it who runs marathons and stuff, and he said he took it for a while and when he stopped he lost 5 kilograms like that. I can't click my fingers properly, but it was all just water weight from taking the creatine. So the day that I started this, I took a video showing how my body was looking, and then every week after that, I took an updated progress video in the same outfit. Not the most flattering outfit, I'm not going to lie, but I wanted to be able to see like the bumps and everything. I wanted it to all be visible so that I could see the progress by the end of it. So the first week, the first video that I took, I was feeling quite bloated, I'm not gonna lie. So it does look like there's even more progress than there maybe was, but it's because of where I was in my cycle. Is how I look right now. It's my and then the following week, it looks like maybe there's been progress, but that's just my bloating having gone down because I don't think that there really was any by that point because it had only been a week, and I don't think that your cells are really fully saturated by that point. Okay, this is my 1 week check-in, and I'm sure that after 1 week, like the creatine won't have made a huge difference. Although you might see a little bit of a physical difference just because I'm less bloated today. Like last week, I was really, really bloated. But I'll just do a little. The second week, though, I did feel like there was a bit of a difference. I was looking quite toned. I was maybe I was in like my ovulation phase at that point because my body looked so much better.
She's been shuffled to become foreign secretary and has made way for Shafana Mahmood, who's previously the Justice Secretary, who we should know, this is a quote, agrees with J.K. Rowling's views on gender and says that biological sex is real and is immutable. Another proud day for the South Asian. I think there was such a noticeable difference. But I do think you can start to see a little bit more muscle definition at that point. This is me by the end of the 30 days. Now, at this point, I'd been unwell for a few days, but I'd started to feel better this day and gone to a spin class. But like, I hadn't done my arm workout for the week, so I do feel like that's missing a little bit. But I do think there's a big difference in my overall appearance here. Like, I do feel a little bit more toned than the start of it. I'll do a comparison of the two, that and the first one. Let me know if you think I'm being completely delusional. Like, I do think I've built a little bit of muscle in my arms. So that was one of the main differences that I actually saw from the creatine, which I do put that down to that because it's the only thing that's really changed. I've never been able to build muscle in my arms that quickly. And then my performance with running, because the most I had ever run at the start of this was 5k, and I didn't really see myself going over that. I didn't really have ambitions to do that. And then I started to just find the 5k a lot easier than what I ever have. And I think that probably is down to the creatine. Like, I do think that was giving me a boost in energy. And I wasn't really thinking about that. Like, I wasn't like, oh, the creatine's helping me. So I don't think it was a placebo. I do think it was just getting easier for me.
And that's probably why. Despite hearing from so many people that it's bloating, I feel like I'm less bloated than when I started, but that's obviously, as I said, I was on my period, I was feeling really bloated from that. And also, I've lost weight since then. So I think it's hard to say. Maybe I would have lost more weight since then if it weren't for the creatine. Like maybe that's bloating me, and if I stopped taking that, I would go down like a kilogram or two more. Not, I know I said my cousin lost 5, but he's like a tall man, so I think proportionally. I wouldn't drop 5 kilograms from bloating. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the bloating factor because I know for a lot of women that would be really off putting, like for men as well, but I think for women even more so. It really put me off the idea of it when I heard that it bloated people. But to be honest, in the end, I don't feel like it's bloated me very much. As I said, I feel less bloated now than I did at the start of it, but there is a chance that if I came off of it, I would debloat even more. Like I might not realize that I'm still a little bit bloated. Like I don't know if you can be bloated without knowing that you're bloated, but it's entirely possible. And maybe I would drop a kilogram or two if I stopped taking it. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to stop taking it. I think it is helping me with my performance, and I like that, and I don't really want to lose that. And also, it's not been difficult for me to take it. Like, I did think I would forget to take it a lot, but I haven't been. And I think that's partly because I'm in the habit now of also taking my electrolytes every day. So I just put it in the same drink as my electrolytes. I drink it all together. I have a litre bottle of water that I put it all in. I'll put like a clip here of me making it. Because I use
This
the
isn't the bottle of water that I usually use,
and
but I just couldn't
electrolytes.
find any clips. I haven't filmed
And
myself
they,
making it every
the
day because it's
electrolytes
just become
taste
such
really
a
nice
routine.
actually. Like they make with my diluting juice, not on their own, but with my diluting juice, they taste quite good. And the creatine, I mean, it says it's got no flavor, but I'm gonna be honest, it does affect the flavor a little bit. It tasted better having just the electrolytes with diluting juice. I feel like I enjoy it less from adding the creatine in, but I've noticed it less and less as the weeks have gone on. I feel like when I first took it, I was like, oh, this is so annoying because I was enjoying my diluting juice with electrolytes before that. Like I do think that they go quite nicely together, but it's worthwhile if it's helping me. Like especially benefit that I'm the most interested in is the running, like the fact that it's helping me to run farther. I really like that. Like I feel accomplished when I run a little bit farther, and I would like to run a 10k, so I don't want to stop taking this and then suddenly have a harder time running and not manage to get to the 10k. So me and my friend ran, it was just under 8k actually. We were actually aiming for 7k, and then we just kept going. It wasn't like feeling super hard yet. By the time we stopped, it had started to feel really hard. I'm not gonna lie, I'd gotten to the point where I was like, right, I need to stop. My friend is someone who will push herself and push herself to her limits, and she kept being like, let's just go a little bit, let's just go a little bit. And I got to the point where I was like, I have to put my foot down. I am not running. You can go farther if you want, and I will like catch up to you walking, but I'm not running for another second. So I think that's my limit right now, and I'll slowly try to build up to the 10k. And I don't want to stop taking the creatine until at least after I've managed to run a 10k. That's like my goal that I want to get to. But I do feel myself getting fitter and fitter as the time goes on. I think it's been good me keeping up the 2 runs, 2 gym sessions, and a Pilates class, other than this week because I've been really unwell. But I did get in my lower body gym session, a Pilates class, and a run, and now I've just done a spin class today. So that's still 4 things in a week, even though I was completely out of the exercising game for 3 full days of this week, because I got unwell. I started to feel unwell on Thursday and went home early from work. Obviously wasn't going to do any sort of exercise. Friday and Saturday I didn't leave the house. Like I was so unwell, I couldn't do anything. And now today it's Sunday, I've done that spin class, so I feel like I've still done well despite being sick, and maybe the creatine's been helping with that. And even when I've been really unwell the past couple of days, like not leaving the flat, I've still taken my creatine, so I'm quite happy with that. So overall, I do think I would recommend it. If you go to the gym, if you're a runner, you do like all sorts of sports and stuff, I do think it's really helped me with my stamina and just being able to push that little bit harder. So if you care about that, but just keep in mind it might bloat you. I don't really feel like it's bloated me much. but I've heard from other people that it does. I've really enjoyed making this video. I like doing this 30-day thing. I think 30 days is a good amount of time to try something to get like really accurate results on how you feel about it and if there's any sort of results from it, and not like just doing it over a week. And I don't think you really get results from anything over a week. So if anyone has any other ideas for things that you'd want me to try, I'd be happy to do that. Just leave them in the comments. And if you like this video, subscribe and like the video, please, because it really helps.